Welcome to Your Seventh Sense, a show for mission-driven entrepreneurs to evolve into unstoppable and intuitive leaders. Listen to Terry and her guests as they share stories of being powered by angels and intuition to achieve their success. Now let's unlock the power in you with your host, Terry Wildeman.
Hello, everyone, to episode number 2 of the brand new show, Your Seventh Sense, business powered by angels and intuition. I'm your host, Terry Wildeman. I love sharing with mission-driven entrepreneurs how to integrate the practical, logical, intuitive, emotional, spiritual, and energetic sides of themselves in their workplace and life so they can become the best version of themselves possible. Everything that I talk about, I have had to learn for myself, and I know it works, especially when it comes to surrendering, letting go, and allowing intuition and your inner guidance system to direct you towards the goals you seek. And that's what the show is all about, trusting that inner guidance system. Trusting the angels and the divine guidance that comes to you in a myriad of ways. My guests bring you their stories of how they achieve success in ways that sometimes seem very impractical. However, these very successful people will share with you their insights, experiences, and stories of how listening to their intuition got them where they are today. As you know, if you listened to our first episode, I was very reluctant to do this show because I know the time and energy that goes into a quality production. I had done it for 2 years with my blog talk radio show, Coffee with Terry, and trust me, the more I was pushed to do this show by my divine trusted advisors, my enchanted boardroom, the more resistance came until I finally gave up and realized the pain in my back was about my not listening to my angels and intuition. When I did listen, the right folks were sent to guide me quickly on this journey. I'm very proud to have as my very first guest, someone who I admire and care about very deeply. She jumped in when I was the most vulnerable in this process and did for me what I do for many others, gave me direction on this show and helped me trust what I was hearing. Actually, she's the one who came up with the name Your Seventh Sense, for which I am profoundly grateful. So allow me to introduce my dear friend, MarBeth Dunn. MarBeth is an energy management specialist, and she's so much more than that, let me tell you. She has been a spiritual teacher for over 25 years. Her integrative approach incorporates energy healing, spiritual principles, empowerment training, and mind expansion, and yoga to help highly sensitive, empathic professionals manage their energy so they can live happy, peaceful, prosperous lives. Doesn't that sound brilliant? MarBeth leads the World Miracle Peace Experiment, a 7-minute meditation broadcasted daily to create a cohesive, unified field of consciousness to blanket the Middle East with love, peace, and healing. MarBeth has been featured on several television networks across the U.S., including Fox, NBC, CBS, WEYW 19, Key West. And I would love to welcome MarBeth Dunn to the show and her topic, will you give 7 minutes a day for world peace? Hello, my dear friend.
Hi, beautiful friend. I'm so happy to be here with you.
You know, MarBeth, you and I have been around each other for quite a while now. And I know that when it comes to intuition, you just got it rocking, girlfriend. You just, you live and breathe intuition with everything that you do. So tell me, and please share with our audience, how did your intuition lead you to where you are right now and your program, will you give 7 minutes a day for world peace?
Wow, that's quite a question. truthfully, I had not planned on creating a program for world peace. And, I do meditate a few times a day. I'm very much about peace. But that was not something that had even entered my mind until about 2 weeks before the program. I received divine inspiration that I needed to start this program. And I told one of my friends, the first thing she said was, "How are you going to monetize this?" I said, "It's not about money."
That's right.
And my fiance Harrison said, "I don't think this is a really good idea. I mean, this is going to take up a lot of your time." And I said, "Got to do it."
Yeah.
Because when I get those intuitive hits, I don't question it. I do it. The only thing I questioned was, does it have to start May 7th? Can I have a little
God, I feel your
time?
pain. What is it with these deadlines they give us? So
funny.
I know that these daily meditations, of which I was honored to do one last week, it was just a fabulous opportunity. It's only 7 minutes a day. I know that they're making a difference. Can you share a little bit of what you're actually seeing and feeling in the Middle East since you've been doing this?
Well, it's been very interesting. Since we've started the meditation, well, the first month, it's not easy to get the statistics. And after about a month, our first 30 days, I did find statistics, and the level of violence had dropped.
Wow.
In the Middle East. And so we just recently got the level of violence through the end of July. And still, when you look at the graph, which I don't have to show on the show, but the graph shows a level of violence that's much higher until our experiment began May 7th. And the second half of the year so far has been much lower.
Wow.
And can we really claim credit for it? I don't know, but it's certainly, there is some correlation there. And not only is it affecting the level of violence, but the participants, our peacecasters, as we call them, who've been participating in the experiment, are experiencing greater levels of peace, more harmonious relationships, feeling more calm at work, less stressed. So it's affecting not only the people who are participating, but the Middle East as well. And as our internal world affects our outer world, it makes total sense.
Of course it does. It really does make a lot of sense. Well, it makes a lot of sense scientifically, because when you take 7 minutes to go into that peaceful place, you are reducing the cortisol levels within the body, and you're increasing the good hormone, which is the DHEA level. So of course these peacecasters are feeling better, because when they listen or when they deliver the meditation, there is a biological and physiological shift happening within their own bodies. And I know for myself, when I did it last week, I got off the call going, yes, it felt so good.
You totally glow when you finish, don't you? I've had people look at me, "You changed your hair. Did you just change your hair?" I said, no. You changed your clothes. I said, no, I just did a peace broadcast. And I'm glowing.
And you're glowing. That's exactly right. And you know, that glow piece begins here in the heart. So can you share a little bit about intuition, surrendering, and the heart, and listening? So that's 4 pieces there, 4 parts there: listening, surrendering, and the heart.
Okay, so listening, when you are not still, when you are not in a peaceful place, you're not able to really hear that still voice that's there to guide you. Now I like to work with spirit. I work a lot with the Holy Spirit, but I work also with the angels. But, I always felt like, why don't I just go up to the top,
Why not? I know I do. See those angels back there? The ones on my wall?
But the angels are so wonderful. They're so there to help us. So I think the listening is really important, and you get there by being still. So I think the first step is really to choose peace. And you don't have to be meditating to choose peace. When you're feeling agitated at any time, you can just stop, take a deep breath or 2 or 3, and just say, how can I see this a different way? How can I see this from a more peaceful place? So now you're choosing peace. And by choosing peace, you're not reacting to a situation. Right. You're actually choosing to listen to what's going to be the best outcome here, not just for you, but for everybody. Yeah. So it's really a win-win. So that was the first one. What was the second one, Terry?
Intuition.
Intuition. Well, intuition, I totally trust my intuition. And no matter how weird the message that I get is, in fact, the weirder it is, I totally trust it and I will follow it. And I'll give you a very funny example. Several years ago, I was doing yoga. And I had the sense of a woman's presence being around me. And it was a friend of Harrison's on Facebook. She was, I think, my friend, but not somebody that I really had a connection to. And I just got the intuitive hit that I needed to reach out to this woman who I really didn't know. Mm-hmm. So I did. I reached out to her on Facebook and I just said, I need to talk to you. And so I ended up, she called me from Canada, so she trusted her intuition to call me. And I had no idea why we needed to connect, but I knew that we did. And so we're talking, and in the process, she mentions that when she's downstairs, she'll hear things fall in the bathroom upstairs. And when she's upstairs, things happen downstairs. And I said, oh, now I know why I was supposed to contact you. And so I realized that she had some beings in her house that were trying to get her attention, but they were really not coming from a very positive place. And she had a baby who was not sleeping very much.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And so I cleared her house. And also there was a book that she had that needed to leave. And so we cleared her house. And somehow all through that night, I was aware of her house and I was checking in to see what's happening here. Was everything staying clear? Well, the next morning she messaged me that her baby had slept for like 12 hours, had never happened before. And, and I understood, well, this is why I had to reach out to this woman. Mm-hmm. So you never know, but I always trust it.
And I agree with you. The weirder, I listen. And yeah. I will share these stories as in future shows. But yes, I absolutely agree with you. That sometimes the weirder the intuition, the more you need to listen because it doesn't make sense. And when they don't make sense, it's your angels, the universe, your intuition giving you a detour saying, okay, you got to listen over here. This is not a squirrel move. No, that is not a squirrel move. We're going, nope. But sometimes it may appear like that when in fact it's not. You and I both know that's sometimes are necessary. Now, one of the things that I know about you is you have this perspective that each and every one of us have the power to make a difference. One person can make a huge difference. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Absolutely. I'm one person. And when you're thinking about, well, how can I make a difference in this world? The world is just so chaotic. There's so much violence. How can I make a difference? Well, I received this divine inspiration to create the World Miracle Peace Experiment. And everyone who has joined the experiment is making a huge difference because we can see the level of violence. It's declining in the Middle East. And the other thing that was interesting, we don't know where this is going, but Egypt is brokering a peace treaty with Israel and Hamas.
Wow.
In the Gaza Strip. And Hamas has already agreed to the terms. Israel was holding off. They were deliberating when I last heard. But that's pretty remarkable. I think that may be an absolute first.
Well, you're absolutely right. One person can make a difference. I mean, let's look at history. Martin Luther King was one.
Yeah.
He was one person. Well, we each have power to be able to make a difference if we just follow our heart and follow our inner guidance. Before we start getting into wrapping up the show, I would love to pull an angel card. Can you give me a number? And I will count down.
3.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful for the romantics in the room. It's Cupid.
Ha!
Okay, and I'll read what a Cupid says. We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself, which is what we're talking about with peace. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. And what the folks on the show who are listening to this don't know is that you and I, ahead of this talk, we're talking about how my wedding anniversary is coming up, and we're talking about relationships in general. So this truly fits as far as how moving forward and finding peace within us, because and I will share that. We're going away for my anniversary because I've been working. My husband's been working. And both of us decided that, hey, from a Cupid perspective, from a love perspective, we need to focus on us as much as we're focusing on everything else. So, yes, I love that card. It is brilliant. And with you, how does it relate to you?
Well, I love my relationship with Harrison, my fiance. So, yeah, we have a very romantic relationship. So,
We do.
yeah, we do. So that's perfect. You know what I wanted to add that I didn't really add when I was talking about the peace experiment was that when talking about how one person can make a difference, when we unite with other people, we actually have a power that grows exponentially. And so when one person unites with other people and we create a unified field of consciousness, a unified field of love and miracles, wow, the power is exponential to the number of people that are joining.
And that's what Cupid is all about, love.
Absolutely, the love and miracles of love.
Absolutely. And in my meditation that I did for you, I talked about Care Bear love. And
yes, you did.
And locking arms and locking wings and from our heart, because the heart itself can be measured, the energy of the heart can be measured 6 to 10 feet away from the body in a 360-degree circumference. So, and that's scientifically proven. This is not woo-woo. It is scientifically proven. So you are spot on with that, MarBeth, and thank you for bringing that up, because you're right. When we lock arms and when we send love from our heart, magic and miracles do happen. They really do. Thank you for bringing that up. I so appreciate you. So, question. Do you have a product, a program, or a service that you want to promote? And what are the details of that?
Oh, well, what I would like to promote are 2 things. Mm-hmm. One is the World Miracle Peace Experiment that you can join at worldpeaceexperiment.com. And it's just easy, 7 minutes a day. You don't have to show up at noon when we do the live meditation, because that beautiful unified field of consciousness is there. And so if you can't join the meditation until bedtime or even until you wake up the next morning, that field is still there. So you will still reap the benefits, as will the Middle East. And we're using the Middle East as a litmus test. This is all about world peace. So that's the first one. The second one is that you can learn more about me at MarBethDunn.com and schedule a session with me, a consultation at MarBethDunn.com/consult. And that way we can get to know each other one-on-one, and you can see how I work and we can talk about it. We can see what needs to be done to help you move into your greater magnificence.
And you are magnificent. And feeding off the Cupid card about love, you are pure love energy. I have worked with you personally, and I know how you operate, and you are quite the spiritual being. We truly are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when our spiritual soul calls us out, I know that you, of all people, are the one person that I go to when I need to ground. And just you have insight that is absolutely remarkable, and I appreciate you very much. So thank you for being on the second episode of Your Seventh Sense. And
thank you so much, Terry. Thank you. Before you even say thank you to the audience, I have to say thank you for having me on the show, and I just love you, and I adore you, and you are wonderful.
Thank
you.
you.
So we have a beautiful mutual admiration in society.
We do. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. And I look forward to sharing more insights and more interviews with you from delightful people who have already been there, done that, worked with their intuition, are still working with it every single day of their lives to succeed in business and in life. To your success, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Unlock the power in you and elevate your seventh sense with our intuitive leadership training programs, masterminds, VIP days, and retreats. To learn more, visit intuitiveleadership.com.